This morning on DC News Now, homecoming season is here as Howard celebrates the centennial for HBCU celebrations. Security leaders working around the clock to keep things safe. And it's been a week of early voting in the district. What voters need to know about a major initiative on the ballot. A cool start to this Friday morning, but we'll see beautiful skies later in the day and into the weekend.
I don't know how that happens. It is concerning.
Plus, students voicing concerns about a data leak at Georgetown University. And it's officially cuffing season. A dating expert talks about the difference between a short-term fling and the real thing.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, well, good morning, and thanks for starting your Friday with us here on DC News Now. I'm Tanaya Wright.
Good morning, I'm Corey James. We'll get to Shanika in just a second. Let's start off with Jackie for the forecast on this Friday morning.
I know, it's another cold one out there, hence why you wore your turtleneck this morning.
My dress.
Yeah. Yes, very, very dressy. Yes, yes. But yeah, you might need that heavier either sweater or jacket this morning. We're talking about temperatures 30s and 40s out there right now. Upper 40s in DC. Look at Manassas. We just dropped below the freezing mark. Currently 31 degrees. It's 33 in Martinsburg, and we do have those frost advisories for much of the area to kickstart your Friday. High pressure, though, is in control. That's providing us with a clear start to the day. We'll remain quiet, too, and dry for your Friday. But with more sunshine developing, we'll see those temperatures rise back to nearly seasonable for this time of the year. We're talking high temperatures, just shy of 70 degrees for much of the area for your Friday afternoon. So it's a little bit warmer than the last several days. Now, the weekend, we're tracking a gradual warming trend, too. More details on that coming up. Shanika, what's the latest on those roadways?
All right, we have one problem out there, and that is right on the outer loop. You can see that those flashing lights there on the right side. So this is, again, the outer loop 495 heading southbound right near Georgetown Pike is where this issue is. Let's look at your maps. You were able to get by pretty slowly. The rest of Northern Virginia, though, 66 east and west looks good, and 95 north and southbound. Your 95s on the Maryland, Virginia side, not a problem at all. BW Parkway is looking good. So if you're heading to Baltimore, BWI Airport, you are looking good to go.
All right, Shanika, thank you. Georgetown University is investigating a data leak.
Yeah, the data leak exposed confidential information of current and former students. Our Daniel Hamburg has more on the story.
Georgetown University says 29 current or recent students may have accessed unauthorized data through its GU Experience platform from 8 a.m. Wednesday to 8:30 a.m. Thursday.
I think it's really shocking given how much power Georgetown has over our personal data.
The student newspaper The Hoya reports it viewed spreadsheets with full names and dates of birth, social security numbers, immigration and visa statuses, as well as financial aid information dating back to the 1990s.
I don't know how that happened. It is concerning.
The university says it wasn't attacked and its system wasn't compromised, but an inadvertent setting change allowed some users with GUIDs to access data that would otherwise only be used by administrative staff. Still not comforting for international student Laura Smith.
Definitely when I saw visa information could be exposed, I was a bit freaked out, but I'm not sure what someone could do with that information or whether it would really be damaging to me. I think I'd be more worried if I was a U.S. student who had their social security number compromised.
Others think the university isn't doing enough to protect them from the students who have their data.
So they email them and ask them to please delete the data, which I feel like they should be a little more aggressive than that.
The university says using, sharing, or saving any of the data could violate university policy and have legal ramifications.
All right, well, Howard University is celebrating its 100th homecoming, and thousands of people are expected to be there for the weekend.
Yeah, and to ensure that everyone stays safe, that is a top priority for the university. Now, the DC News Now's John Marie Say is live this morning with the latest on how the campus police chief is going to ensure those safety plans. And Marie, I know Howard is really a big deal for so many students, and this homecoming is where a lot of people are expecting to go.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Howard Homecoming actually has about 60 to 70,000 people show up every year, according to campus police. With this year being their 100th homecoming, they may expect some more, but they say they're ready for anything because they've been preparing since last year. Now, with this homecoming being a little extra special because it's their 100th homecoming, University does not plan to have their standard tailgate due to large crowds, and there's just not enough space for everyone. So what they've done, they have many events to kind of separate everyone. They have the Yard Fest, the parade, football game, and many alumni events. And Marcus Laus, which is the safety police chief for Howard University, says they're actually collaborating with MPD and federal agencies. They've actually increased their staff, surveillance technology, they have crowd management protocols in place, and even enhanced their emergency community systems to ensure everyone has a safe homecoming.
We planned for many, many months. We've been very proactive and very deliberate in the relationships that we've built to foster a safe environment. We need the communities and the attendees' assistance in making sure that if they see something, they say something and they bring it to our attention.
Now, if you do plan on attending Howard's homecoming this weekend, here's some tips to stay safe. One, you want to make sure that you plan ahead for transportation. Be aware of your surroundings. Use the buddy system. Keep hydrated and know your limit. And stay informed and follow guidelines. Now, there will be some road closures over the weekend. They already started putting that in place starting yesterday. So definitely be aware of that. If you are heading into this area, you might want to avoid it. And for the full list of their events happening this weekend, you can visit our website, DCNewsNow.com. Reporting Northwest, I'm Yamarie Sase, DC News Now.
Thank you, Yamarie. Well, Prince George's County leaders are trying to prevent late-night crime and keep you safe. Now, the County Council wants to pass a bill that requires some businesses to boost their security. The bill would require more security measures at businesses open between midnight and 4 in the morning. Councilmember Crystal Orietta says that could include more lights, surveillance cameras, and training for security staff. While she says the bill is long overdue, not everyone is on board.
So the concern from the membership at the Maryland Retailers Alliance is about the cost of compliance for this, the lack of clarity around the parameters that could impact businesses, and the lack of consistency.
So the goal really is not to penalize the businesses, but say you have to be part of the solution and take the time to work with the police to figure out what the standard should be.
Well, the council hopes to hold a public hearing before taking a final vote next month.
Our DC police are looking for this car involved in a hit-and-run crash with a police cruiser in Southeast. It happened yesterday on 4th Street, just south of M Street. No injuries were reported, but if you have any information, call police. A child is recovering this morning after a car window was shot out in Prince George's County, Maryland. It happened Wednesday night near Silver Hill and St. Barnabas Roads. Police say the child had minor injuries from broken glass and was taken to the hospital. Officers say no one was hit by a bullet.
In Baltimore, police want the man seen on widely shared video attacking two Commanders fans to turn himself in. Police issued an arrest warrant for this man you see here, John Callis. The video appears to show the 24-year-old wearing a Lamar Jackson jersey punching and kicking two men in Commanders gear. Now, this came after Sunday's football game in Baltimore. Now, Callis is wanted for several counts of assault.
No premeditation of that is the house I'm going to target, anything like that. It just came over me that I don't know how to explain it.
All right, well, what you just heard right there was a chilling confession from a cold case killer. The man now pleading guilty to murder.
Yeah, Stephen Smirk admitting to stabbing a 37-year-old mother to death in Fairfax County, Virginia, more than 2 decades ago. Investigators released video of that confession yesterday. The 52-year-old arrested last September, pleading guilty to gruesomely killing Robin Lawrence in 1994. Smirk told investigators he was visiting friends, drinking, and taking pills. He said he felt like he had to kill someone and broke into Lawrence's home next door. He admitted to cutting her phone line and stabbing her nearly 50 times. Lawrence's family says this closure has been incredibly hard.
The daughter is doing as well as can be expected. So to hear all of this now, many years later, it's hard, very hard.
Smirk is expected to be sentenced next March. As part of his plea agreement, he faces 70 years in prison with the possibility of parole.
All right, well, the roads and drivers in D.C. racking up nearly 1 million tickets from traffic cameras, and this is just in the last 6 months.
Yeah, that's according to DDOT. The agency says around half of those tickets have not been paid. DC News Now's Muriel Carbone has more on what the city is doing to get drivers to pay up.
Drive in D.C. and it's likely you'll pass one of these, an automated traffic enforcement camera.
Yeah, I really pay attention to them.
The camera is intended to stop reckless driving, like this one on 8th Street Northeast.
Most of them, but this one is pretty fair. You know you're going to catch speed going down the hill.
Fair or not, the city has collected more than $87 million from ATE tickets in the first 6 months of fiscal year 2024. And that's according to new data from D.C.'s Department of Transportation. Across the district, more than 973,000 tickets were issued from October 1st, 2023 through March 31st, 2024. A majority, roughly 40%, went to Maryland drivers. Despite the sheer number, a large amount remain unpaid, 525,000 during that time. Most of those from out-of-district drivers.
We've got some dangerous drivers that think that there is no accountability.
And Councilmember Charles Allen hopes the STEER Act changes that. It went into effect on October 1st and gives the Attorney General the power to sue out-of-state drivers who rack up thousands in unpaid tickets.
I hope that what it does is show people that we're going to put teeth into our traffic enforcement.
I think anyone who has a car and is speeding gets a ticket should pay it.
D.C. local Todd Clark wants drivers to be held accountable. As to whether or not the cameras make the roadways any safer,
there's some locations where it feels like it's unnecessarily in the way.
All right, time right now is 6:10. Still to come on DC News Now. National Slow Down Move Over Day is this weekend.
Yeah, local officials are telling us how important it is to stay safe on the roads. And meet one of the tech titans of the year who is helping people who are neurodivergent. We'll have more on that coming up.
And let's take a live look outside this morning. Jackie, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Looks a little bit breezy out there right now, doesn't it? And we're also starting off on the colder side again. Later on today, those temperatures will be much more seasonable for this time of the year, with highs right around 70. But we have even warmer temperatures this weekend. I'll go over those details right after the break.